Hey, what's up, guys? And today I'm going to be going over YCS Vancouver and what happened. So, obviously, we had a YCS this weekend. It had about 560 people, and Triff won with Yummy. If you look at the top cut data, you see there's 12 Vanquish Soul, 7 Yummy, 5 Christian K9, 3 Drake Hotel, 2 Mitsurugi, 2 Malice, and then 1 White Force. So, yeah, obviously, like, Vanquish Soul ended up being the most played deck, then Yummy. Mostly expected. I was kind of expecting more people to be on Yummy, but it is what it is. Vanquish Soul did have the most hype going into the format. But the Christian K9 deck actually ended up showing up really big. 5 people in top cut. All 5 made top 16. 4 of them got knocked out in top 16, though. Although there was like a mirror match. And then Yassine, the highest placing one, made it to top 4. And you see Malice and Mitsurugi also didn't end up doing that well as well. They only had 2 spots in top cut. So personally, I feel like part of that is just because like a new toy syndrome. I still feel like Malice, at least Malice, is an extremely strong deck. I think people are just sleeping on it a little bit. It was even one lone White Forest guy made it to top cut. So look at the first list. This is gonna be the first place list from Triff. So you see, it's like a yummy hand trap approach for it. Some people were trying to do like board breakers, but he decided to go with hand traps. Obviously, like hand traps are going to be generically the best, and if you go against a deck like Malice, hand traps are going to be really good. I decided to play Ogre and Bell in the main deck. In the Veiler, I mean, not much other hand traps you can play. In terms of other notable stuff, he did decide to side to Contact C. Some people were not playing this, but Contact C versus Yummy kind of does put them on like a cross sheep check. And so I expect because he played it and other people in Top Cut played it too, we'll see more people playing Cross Sheep and Yummy. Retaliating C for the Dracotel matchup. I can understand it because Dracotel's matchup against your deck is pretty rough. And then he decided to play Judgment as his going first card. Pretty standard. And then he is siding Lancia, which you're probably like, oh, obviously he's siding Lancia, right? But not everybody's siding Lancia, so we'll get to see like how many people are siding Lancia, because at least one of the lists I'm going to show today isn't siding Lancia. Moving on, this is the second place list. I think the guy's name was Kasim or something like that, Kasim. Anywho, yeah, so this is Vanquish Soul, and this is a very different list than what you might normally expect, because the second place guy did not play a big K9 package in the main deck. He only played Extrav instead. And obviously I made a deck profile on this way to play the deck like a couple weeks ago, and I'm glad to see that people are actually trying it out. So yeah, he decided to play Extrav, and the reason you would play Extrav in the deck is obviously the deck has a big consistency issue, so you want to help fix that. You can still play some number of K9s in the main deck with the Extrav, like you see he's playing the 1 Yokel. You can maybe even play 2 or whatever, but yeah. For the non-engine in the main deck, he chose to play Fua, no Pirellia in the main, but instead it's in the side, which does make sense, I think. I understand why you would not want to do that, just because like I think Pirellia is crazy against the mirror match. But against Yummy, it's not as good. So he decided to play a card like Fanta instead, which can be much better against Yummy, although not very good in the mirror match. So Ash, Fua, Phantasme, Nibiru, and then the Magnamut, and then Azuna. So most of these non-engine are going to be good against Yummy, Fua, Fanta, Nib. Obviously Azuna not, but it'd be like that. Decided to play 3 Xiaolong and 2 Borger. Okay. He did not play Prosperity, which I'm not going to lie, I think that's a misplay. I think Prosperity is just a better card than Extrav in the deck. Yes, seeing 2 cards is nice, but I think often you want to see a specific card because not all of your starters do the same thing. You don't even have that many starters, so I'm trying to specifically see my Holy Suit or my Raisin, or just hit an attribute I need. So I think Prosperity is better. So I think not playing Prosperity is just crazy. Obviously, you can play both of them at the same time. The side deck, you decide to side deck DB Crows, Pankratops for the Yummy matchup, of course, Joel, more Pirellia for the mirror, and then Anti-Spell and Tigaboo. Yeah, and then the next list I wanted to show is Yassine's top 4 Christian list. It just seems like what people are starting to cut down and trim on the Christians. Only like 2 Slowfefnir, but no Thivestern, the purple guy. And just played super slim because they're like, I don't really want to draw the Christians, I just want to draw the K9s because the K9 cards can bridge you into the Christian cards. So that's the approach some people are taking. And then yeah, just like a lot of non-engine. How much non-engine is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 non-engine. It's not bad. Well, 18 with the Azuna. Decided to play Foolish Burial. I know some people weren't liking it, me included. But yeah, Foolish Burial can send the Smiger or can send like a name for like a lantern or something like that. Moving on to the extra deck, he decided to play Silhouette Rabbit and with the Swamp DB instead. So you know what Swamp DB does, or if you don't know, sorry, it says during the main phase, special summon this card as a normal monster. Then you can negate the effects of face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of other continuous traps you control. So if you have another continuous trap, you can negate anything. So Cluster is a continuous trap. So basically, if you have Cluster up, you can use the Swamp DB that you set off the Rabbit, and you can just negate like a Dark Rule or a Droplet or something like that. So it helps a bit versus board breakers there. Also, a cool thing about Rabbit is that you can Mega Fleet is a card that like some people are playing to counter this deck, and normally people make like SP and EMZ, but the issue with that is that it plays into like it plays into the Mega Fleet, right? In Mega Fleet, you can summon it using monsters from either field, using a monster in the EMZ and Cyber Dragon Infinity. So what some people are doing is they're sucking up their monster, like using Infinity to suck up their own monster, but like you don't want to waste an SP, so you can just make Rabbit, get value out the Rabbit, and then suck up the Rabbit, which is pretty cool, and you can still play around it, quote unquote. But yeah, he's playing Imperial Princess, okay, Zeus package. He's playing Durandal for the Joel combo, and then yeah, he's playing the Vimana, which I like. I don't really love it for the effect, I'm not gonna lie. I like it because it's a machine, so you can do like Zeus and while you're locked. I think that's pretty cool. For the side deck, siding 2 Case of K9 for going first, okay. The Barrel Goods package, I know he made like a video on this. And then Clockwork Knight as well. Clockwork Knight is pretty chill. So yeah, the Barrel Goods and then the Clockwork Knight, so which can grab the Scrap Recycler, or you have like Black Goat, so it's pretty flexible. And Clockwork Knight, this format is a really good floodgate against Yummy. Next, we have Jibrio Braithwaite's top 8 Yummy list. So this is going to be a bit different than the first place list, which you saw was mostly on hand traps. Jibrio decided to take like a pseudo board breaker approach. So we see here, he still plays Fua, still plays the Ash, Impermanent Purge, but instead of playing other hand traps like Ochre, Bell, Veiler, he decided to play Droplet and Thrust. Which I can feel it. I mean, it's pretty similar to the list I uploaded a bit ago as well. I'm a big Droplet fan personally. I'm a big fan. As for the extra deck, it's mostly standard. He chose to play the Link Spider, while I will say Triff did not play Link Spider. As for if Link Spider is necessary or not, I don't think it is necessary. Because a lot of time when you like get nibbed, you can go like Link Spider, summon a guy, make SP. But I think that's kind of neg. What I think you're supposed to do more often than not is you're supposed to go like when you get nibbed, you're supposed to use the surprise to summon back a Synchro. Then you special summon your guy, and then you go like Onari with the nib token and the level 1. Because joining the SP is like kind of awkward, but yeah. But other than that, mostly standard. Side deck, siding Perulia for Vanquish Soul. They want to main it because it's bad into the other decks. Bell for the Mirror and Vanquish and Dracotail. Metatronus for the Mirror, and then again siding the Solemn Judgment. Now we have Jesse Cotton's top 8 Dracotail list. Dracotail only got 3 top cut slots in the WoW event. Yeah, only 3. But I mean, the deck's still pretty good. But it was expected not to see as much play as the other decks. So yeah, he just took a hand trap approach. We see Cartesia. A lot of people have been trying out Cartesia in the deck just as another way to fusion summon. It gives you like additional monster fodder in like a grind game. And yeah, he's playing triple Pan, which is pretty cool. I think I had a video that played multiple Pan and Urgula as well. Some people play more Pan than Urgula. Some people play more Urgula than Pan. Urgula is like better to draw like when you're comboing wise. But like Pan it has a better disruption effect. Obviously, you'd rather pop a monster than a spell and trap. So he decided not to play Prosperity. I watched his deck profile. The reasoning was that he didn't want to play like a non-monster, which I kind of understand. But I think the deck's consistency is not super duper great, and I think Prosperity is like the best consistency card. And I don't think the one extra spell and trap means that much, especially because going first, it doesn't matter at all. It only matters going second when you have 5 mana. But I don't want to cut a super, like what feels like one of the best cards in my deck, just because sometimes going second, it might make my 5 mana. It's not even like, oh, if you going second, if you draw Prosperity with 5 mana, then it's going to be like bad together, because like you still could have other monsters too. So I think Prosperity should be in my deck personally, but that's just me. For the extra deck, pretty standard. He's playing the Artemis for the SP, I mean, he said Celine was kind of mad during the event. It's a side deck against side Lancia. Oh, and something I forgot to mention is that Jib did not side Lancia. So that might be a trend we see moving forward. But yeah, then it's like a bunch of hand traps. Fenrir for going first, Khadija for going first, and Fanta, Bell, Joel. The next list I want to show is a Mitsurugi Riser list that ended up topping in top 16. I'm not going to go talk over this too much. It's just mostly standard. A little bit awkward stuff though. No pre-prep in the deck, but it's like NA, so I think we should expect no pre-prep. Pre-prep's more of a thing they do over in EU. Personally, I like pre-prep in the deck, but you know, I like it over Sebas Tachyon. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Looking at this deck list, it looks so bricky. Oh my god, I'm like getting tilted looking at it. Like I'm getting. Oh my god, I just can't. Oh my god, I'm getting tilted looking at the deck list. It looks so bricky. But anywho, decided to play Solemn Warning in the side deck over the Judgment. I like Warning. Valon obviously for X Ryziel. He's playing the Shadow Dragon package. And then yeah, pretty standard outside of that, somewhat. Oh my god, I hate it. And then a Malice list that ended up topping. Looks a pretty standard Malice list overall. Looks pretty similar to what people would have played at Nationals. Did decide to play GWC and the Mouse in the Mirror, which I would expect most people to do that, even though you don't necessarily need to do it. And yeah, Fua, both Mocharmies, Ash Nib, so Mocharmy approach, Imperm and Impulse, and like the Bestials, no Baldrake. And then yeah. So anywho, that's all the deck lists I want to show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. And what do you guys think about what happened at Vancouver? Do you think this top cut was expected, not expected? Were you expecting other decks to pop off? Like, what's up? But anywho, take care.